What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here with another episode of Player Ratings. Finally, 3 points to talk about. Finally, a good performance to talk about to match it as well. And let's get straight into it with HUGO LLORIS. Both of us giving him sixes. Hugely untested throughout the game. I think he made one save, was it, from Danny Ings?
Yeah, I can't remember too many others.
And that was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and obviously he had that great pass for Harry Kane's chance, showing a bit of distribution from HUGO, which you don't get to see often.
That this season already.
Yeah, with a few, but it wasn't one of those where he had to drop kick it. Actually, there was a placement kick. He actually got it really far, which you didn't see much from HUGO. But yeah, other than that, didn't have to do too much, like from crosses and stuff. He wasn't called into action in terms of like claiming crosses. The defenders dealt with everything, even though they seemed to crowd the keeper. They didn't seem to be fazed by it. So average outing for HUGO, not much to say. Couldn't do anything with the goal either.
Definitely. Let's move on. Emerson Royal, 8s all round, and this was the birth of Emerson Royal in the Premier League, in my opinion. Best performance we've seen from him, most composed performance we've seen from him. I thought going forward, he added a lot. He added some good options there on the right-hand side, some good deliveries as well. And going the other way, I was most impressed with his interceptions and his blocks and his tackles. I think all of it was absolutely spot on from Emerson, and this is what we wanted to see. And a lot of people saying he's been a flop signing, even though he hardly even played a game. But I think yesterday really showed what he's about. Yeah,
really strong from Emerson. I was so happy with his display because he's people have been criticising him and things like that, but I got to say he was really effective yesterday, and both going back and going forward. I thought he had boundless amounts of energy, and I was so impressed. I'm so happy for him because he needed a good performance to get people off his back, and he definitely showed that yesterday. And he had some quality, I think, on the end of his runs as well. Amount of times he's able to beat the centre back or the full back as well. Really impressive dribbling abilities, and I think tactically we had a bit of a problem on his side because Matt Targett kept getting a lot of space, but I think he dealt with it quite admirably, and really impressive. Like the first time I really seen a fullback dominate his side of the pitch on the right-hand side properly, like Emerson did yesterday. So really, really impressive.
Definitely. All right, let's move on to Cristian Romero. 8s all round from us, and again, absolutely brilliant display from Cristian Romero. I thought it really showed why this guy needs to be our starting centre-back every single game. He looks a cut above the rest. He looks really calm in possession, pinging it left, right and centre. That one really came to note. A lovely crossfield ball to Heung-min Son, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was strong, he was commanding in the air, commanding on the ground, stepping up to do those very important interceptions, which one of them led to our first goal with Højbjerg picking it up and then starting that run. And I just thought he was really, really strong in all areas of the pitch yesterday.
Yeah, I felt Watkins and Ings, by and large, when Romero was on them, they struggled to deal with him. And I know he made a bit of a mistake for the goal we conceded, but I thought by and large throughout the game he was a menace, and he was like an itch which they just couldn't get, almost like a rash. They couldn't get him off, and he was absolutely brilliant, Romero. His aggression up against those centre backs and up against those centre forwards, they really struggled to know what to do to try and take him on, to try and shield the ball, to try and come deeper. They were lacking effectiveness in the game, and I thought Romero was a massive part of that. And his passing composure on the ball, despite a few moments where he gave the ball away, I thought by and large really, really strong as well. So looks like a real fight. Looks like a player who's going to be really good for us coming into the season, I think.
Definitely. Let's move on to his centre-back partner, Eric Dyer. Much improved performance from him, I thought. We gave him 7s all round. I thought he struck up a really nice partnership with Cristian Romero on the day, as well as Romero. He was also getting on the ball on the ground and spraying it left, right and centre. I thought he did really well there, and commanding in the air as well. And on the floor, to be fair. I mean, like you said, the two Villa strikers really didn't get a sniff all game, and that was down to both of their partnerships, to be fair.
Yeah, Dyer also really strong display, I must say. Really, really good. The only down point I would say on Dyer was he could have done a bit better for the goal, I felt. A bit like Romero, I thought he only had Watkins to watch, and he took his eye off him for 1 second, and then that was it.
That moment was the only blot on both of performances, really.
Yeah, but I think, Dyer played an absolutely brilliant long through ball into Sonny, who probably should have scored as well. So Dyer also, much better performance from him, and it looked very, very comfortable in that back four with Romero next to him.
Yeah, and it just shows what having a good partner can do for you, because we all know Dyer and Sanchez tried and tested many times. I mean, maybe they'll have 1 or 2 performances where they perform well, but, you know, it's not really the partnership we need to be looking at. We need to be looking at Romero and one other, and that one other really needs to be Eric Dyer for me for now. So let's see. I think we need to persist with that. But let's move on to the left back, Sergio Reguilon. We gave him a 7s all round, and I think that was his best performance of the season so far. I think nothing came down his side defensively. I thought he was spot on defensively, and I thought he was getting forward really well as well. So going forward, going back, really strong display from him, and I think it's the first time actually in a long time where we've seen 2 fullbacks put in a stronger display as that.
Yeah, and Reguilon, I must say, played a really good part in the second goal, releasing Sonny really early down the left. And I thought he was linking up really well with Sonny throughout the game, really on the left-hand side. The problems defensively came more down Emerson's side than they did down his side. I thought he had Cash pretty much nailed down for most of the game, apart from a couple of moments where he got free.
Not a bad throw that Matty Cash has.
Yeah, he's got a big, nice long throw, he does, doesn't he? But Reguilon, really, really solid display from him. So really happy for him as well. And long may it continue.
Definitely. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, we're giving him an 8 all round. Let's start off with that goal, because not only was it an absolutely brilliant finish, but it was pretty much Højbjerg who started that move from deep. And it was absolutely brilliant goal. The move was absolutely excellent. Started off with a Romero interception, then Højbjerg picked it up, ended up with Sonny, and then Sonny plays in a lovely ball to Højbjerg, and Højbjerg just slotted that so coolly in the bottom right-hand corner. And, you know, don't really associate Højbjerg with that kind of finishing, and he put that away like literally a striker's finish. So massive props for that one. But, you know, the whole game he was at it. He was aggressive. He was non-stop running. Skipp was doing the mopping up for him, and he was like that box-to-box midfielder role, and they couldn't handle him on the day. They really couldn't handle him on the day, and the partnership between him and Skipp is really growing and flourishing big time right now.
Yeah, and it was a brilliant all-round display from Pierre, got to say that. And I thought, you know, him up against John McGinn, it would be a real battle, and McGinn was winning in the early exchanges, but Højbjerg came out on top in the end. And I thought, by and large, was a pretty brilliant game from Højbjerg. And I think he looks a lot more comfortable and confident in his pressing and attacking-wise, with knowing he's got the protection of Skipp behind him. And I think we just saw another side to Højbjerg when he's got a bit more protection next to him. He seems a lot more confident on the ball to go be a bit more aggressive and be a bit more attacking as well. So that box-to-box role next to a sitter in Skipp definitely helped him out. And it was good, really good display from Pierre, and obviously scored his goal, which he deserved, and a number of times was able to win the ball out of the pitch.
Yeah, which moves us on to Ollie Skipp. We gave him 8s all round. Another brilliant display from Ollie Skipp, and it just shows us what we've been missing in the side when Ollie Skipp hasn't been there. Obviously, since Ollie Skipp has started every game that we've won this season, and Ollie Skipp, obviously, he played in that Crystal Palace game, but that Palace game was wrong completely structurally, and I think that it showed in that Chelsea game, it showed in that Arsenal game how much you know, we needed Ollie Skipp in there for his combativeness in the midfield. He lays that platform to Højbjerg and the rest of the team to strut their stuff going forward. And he was just well, I wouldn't say unplayable, but he was just so strong there in the middle of the park. That aggression, that tenacity that he shows is just second to none to anyone in the team right now. And we have to persist with him and Højbjerg in the middle there. We have to.
And yeah, he really does offer a lot of protection for the back line, and he's also running into the penalty area, tracking runners, you know, blocking shots, and he's creating. And he's also good on the ball. He's not like unbelievable, but he's like competent enough where he can set the tone and he can pass out quickly into attackers into space where we can spring on teams quickly. And he really does help set the tone for the team, and with his tackling and aggression. And I thought it was really unlucky to pick up a yellow card. I didn't think it was a yellow card which he picked up.
Not at all.
Really unlucky, but. We seem so much more solid with him in the team. That's just a fact. So we need Skipp. I think Skipp's so vital to how the team functions. I believe, like Skipp, someone said Skipp could be more vital than Højbjerg, and there's a good case for that.
I actually agree with that.
There could be a good case for that.
I actually agree with that. And, you know, when he was at Norwich last year, strutting his stuff in the Championship, he was absolutely unbelievable. And everyone was like, yeah, we need Skip back in the team. But there was always that little question in the back of people's minds. Is he actually going to do it in the Premier League as well as he does it in the Championship? Well, the proof is in the pudding right now.
He's barely, each game, he hasn't had a terrible game yet. And that shows how good he's been.
All right, let's move on to Tanguy Ndombele. Gave him a 4 all round, and it was a very weird performance from Tanguy, in my opinion, because it was kind of like the polar opposites of what he's been this season. I thought the effort was there, the desire was there, he was getting on the ball a lot, but every time he got on the ball, he just like looked very lackluster on the ball. The ball kept bouncing off him, kept losing possession countless amount of times. There was only one kind of action where I felt he like provided the team positivity, where he beat like 1 or 2 men, and then he took a shot on goal where the keeper was equal to it. But apart from that, I thought he was very, very poor, unfortunately. And I think that the sub the game needed that sub a lot earlier than we got it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and it was a really lacklustre display from Tanguy, unfortunately, in a game where we were asking a lot more from him on the ball because he was playing the number 10 a bit further forward, which was good because it took away his defensive responsibilities a bit and allowed him not a free roll but a bit more freedom to create and get on the ball. And he did get on the ball quite a bit, just didn't do anything with it, which is very rare for Tanguy. You're expecting him, the more he gets to the ball, the better he's going to be. But unfortunately, yesterday, the more he got the ball, the worse he was, which is a weird one. So obviously, I'll put it down to an off day or something, but it was really uncharacteristically terrible on the ball with his touch and stuff like that.
To be fair, though, he was as poor on the ball yesterday as he was in Arsenal game as well.
Potentially, yeah. I think on Arsenal was different problems.
Arsenal was a different problem, but still, I think like it was very similar when Tanguy got the ball against Arsenal, who was also very extremely wasteful and not doing much positive with the ball that day as well.
Yeah, potentially.
Even though like his effort did go down in the second half massively, Tanguy, or did he get did he get taken off half time? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
So I thought his effort was kind of dwindling in the second half. His effort never really did that against Villa. It never really happened like that against Villa, but I thought on the ball kind of it was a bit similar.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Let's move over to Lucas Moura, 7s all round from us, and I thought it was a good display from Lucas. I thought a very energetic display, picking up the ball, beating men time and time again. Obviously, he was the one at that back post. It was an own goal at the end of the day, but he did well to get in that position. And, you know, maybe he could have got in front of the defender and scored, but Matty Targett did his job for him. But I thought that he grew into the game, especially in that second half. He was tireless working. And yeah, good display from him, but still not that much quality.
Yeah, I think second half was much better. I think first half he started the game quite poorly. I thought he was losing the ball in some dangerous areas, and a bit like Arsenal. I thought like sometimes there's some dribbles where you expect Lucas to dribble out of a situation and he gets tackled, and you're like, oh, why is he getting tackled? But second half, I thought he was really, really impressive again, really on the front foot. He put some really nice through balls as well to Sonny, who could have done a bit better with some of the chances that he made. And again, proving what he can bring to the team, Lucas. Unlucky not to get the goal. It was an own goal in the end, but a solid display from Lucas Moura, I would say.
Let's move over to the main man, Heung-min Son. 9s all round from us. The only thing that he doesn't get a 10 for is because he just didn't get on the score sheet yesterday, which he probably should have. But I thought it was an absolutely sensational display from Sonny yesterday. It really was. I mean, the guy was unplayable. He really was. And it's a long time since we can say that he's been absolutely unplayable. The Villa midfield, the Villa attack, nobody could get the ball off him. He was being fed through the team time and time again, and time again he was causing Villa no ends of problems. 2 assists on the day, both really nice crosses, one to Højbjerg, the other one to the back post of Lucas Moura, which was even more impressive than the Højbjerg one. And then there was that moment in the last 5 minutes where he was keeping it in the corner flag, ran into the middle of the box, beat 3 men, ran out back to the corner flag. And yeah, it was just an unbelievable display from Sonny, and you can see that he's starting to take on a bit more responsibility in the team. You know, he seems as that he's growing into a bit of a leader role within the team as well, which is exactly what we needed. So absolutely imperious display from Sonny boy, and let's hope for many more.
Yeah, it was the sharpest he's looked for a long time, I think, Sonny. And even though he's put in some decent displays, I think his dribbling was unbelievable. Matt Cash was on the floor a couple of times yesterday. The second goal, he left him for dead for the goal, and a great ball across the face goal as well. And he put a number of really dangerous balls into the box before ultimately getting that second assist. I also thought with the first assist as well. Patiently waited for the right moment to lay it off to Højbjerg. Could have done it too early or too late, but he picked the right moment to find Højbjerg in space, and that obviously led to the goal which we scored. And he was our biggest threat throughout that left-hand side throughout the game. Every time he got the ball, it was like a spark that had been lit, and we were waiting to see what would happen. And excellent showing from Son. The only downside is didn't really have his shooting boots on. I don't know if he maybe hit the target with one chance, which he should have scored when played through by. I can't remember who played through by, but it was a ball over the top from Dyer, and he should have scored. But other than that, can't fault him at all, really, Sonny. So brilliant display.
Absolutely. Let's move over to the last of the starting 11, Harry Kane. 7 from me, 6 from Sim. I mean, the reason I gave him a 7, I think, is a massive step in the right direction for Harry Kane. I thought he was a much more involved than he has been so far this season. He was getting his shots off. He was getting in good positions. Yes, he didn't get on the score sheet, which he most definitely should have. But I just think that, I think he looked back at it, Harry Kane. I think it really did. Albeit his finishing boots, his shooting boots weren't on, but getting in the right positions, which we can't say he has done in the last couple of weeks, definitely since the start of the season. A bit selfish for that chance where he tried to lob the keeper, but just those moments where he's looking at Martinez off his line, trying to shoot from like the halfway line. In that moment when he was running off the back of the defence, when Hugo Lloris plays it over the top, it just shows that he is trying. He's back on side, or if he ever was offside, and I think he's slowly now growing into the season. I think once he gets that goal, I think you're going to see the real Kane emerge again.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think I've always said once you get the defence and the midfield right, you're going to see a better Harry Kane. And I think that's what we're seeing now, hopefully. Still want to see a bit more from him. I think his passing on a few occasions, he picked the wrong option and could have done better. But other than that, I think on another day, if Lo Celso finishes the chance he created with an unbelievable back heel, he could have had a 1 assist and played great ball to Sonny as well across the face of goal, which Sonny couldn't steer home at the near post, and that could have been another assist. And I think in terms of shots, I think he had the most shots on target out of anyone, 4 shots on target, which is the same as the rest of the team combined. So I think he's looking a lot more comfortable, a lot more into the team, and I think the team structure looked absolutely fine with him being in it, with people saying we look better without him. So I think he linked up really well with the front three as well, by and large. And I think people saying he was awful, I just didn't see that at all. I think he was well off the ball, was chasing players down, was pressing really quite effectively, and was hurting Aston Villa. And so obviously he can get a lot better. We know Harry Kane can get a lot better than that. But I think it's a step in the right direction, as you said.
Yeah, and if Lo Celso scores that chance, if Sonny scores that chance, or if even he scores that chance when Hugo Lloris completely, bypasses everyone on the pitch to play him through on goal, you're talking about 8 or 9 performance from Harry.
Yeah, 100%. And
so it's the fine margins.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that chance that big chance he got, a 1-on-1, he did seem to stumble a bit and looked a bit awkward. But I think people saying they're worried about him after that performance, I don't know why.
The only reason they're saying they're worried about him, because I said the same thing after the game, is because Kane usually gobbles up chances for fun, and he's not doing that right now.
Yeah, he'll do it. Just keep giving him the chances. He will gobble them up. I'm no doubt about it.
All right, let's move over to the substitute Giovanni Lo Celso, who came on with 20 minutes to go for Tanguy Ndombele. Both of us giving him 7s, and I thought the game was crying out for him to come on earlier than he did, and it showed exactly why as soon as he came on the pitch, because he added that something different from us that Tanguy Ndombele wasn't. When he got on the ball, he was highly creative. He added a lot of energy to that midfield as well. Yes, he should have got a goal. I'm not sure what he was doing with that finish when Harry Kane played him through, but I thought that apart from that, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He really was.
Yeah, I thought a really great cameo from Lo Celso. Really creative and sharp, and looked to get involved with all the play, and I thought pressing as well. He was helping us contain Aston Villa into their half into the last 20 minutes and did let them out. And I thought he had a couple of shots as well. I know a bit wayward, but looked to really put the game to bed. And the only frustrating thing was, he didn't score that massive chance he got, which should have been a game killer. But I thought he did more in 20 minutes than Ndombele did in the 70 before that.
Definitely. Let's move over to the manager, Nuno Espirito Santo. I gave him an 8. Sim gives him a 7. And you know what? Credit where credit's due, because you know the team has, since we've come back from international break, and even before that, the structure of the team has not looked right. We've looked very kind of lopsided on the pitch. But yesterday, I think he got it absolutely spot on with the players he picked. The actual structure of the team looked absolutely spot on. We were great defensively. We were great going forward. The only blot on yesterday was that he didn't make that change quicker, because I thought if Lo Celso came on maybe on the 55th or 60th minute mark, I think we really would have put that game to bed. Well, we should have done anyway when Lo Celso came on with 20 minutes to go, but I thought that if Lo Celso would have come on a bit earlier, just would have improved our chances that tad bit more. But I can't really complain with Nuno yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he got the lineup near spot on. Really happy for him that the team still looks like they're playing for him, and everyone saying, you know, we're last in the running stats and he's lost the dressing room, all this kind of stuff. You got Athletic report saying no one knows what they're doing and stuff like that. I'm glad he proved a lot of people wrong with yesterday with that. I still obviously there's a lot of things to iron out with the performance. I think we in the first half, we can still be a bit better, despite I think we were probably just shaded it in the first half. We still be a bit better with how we dealt with Villa's pressing, but how we finished the game expertly. We were much the better team, and should have scored 2 or 3 goals right at the end as well with the chance we were creating. So we're looking strong again at the end, which is positive. The only thing is, probably subs could have been a bit quicker, and Ndombele probably stayed on about 20 minutes too long. But other than that, good stuff from Nuno yesterday.
Definitely, you know, people underestimating today this performance like yesterday, because this Villa side are a very good side.
And I don't even think they played that badly.
No, they didn't. They've just beaten Everton 3-0. You know, they've just gone to Old Trafford and won 1-0. And they looked good yesterday, especially in that first half. And I think credit to Nuno, because we stopped them doing their stuff and we absolutely played better than them and deserved the win completely yesterday. So credit to Nuno, credit to the team. Long may it continue. And yeah, that is our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or if you disagree with our player ratings. Put your ratings in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.